White old man around 40 minutes and balding. He's walking around with a huge mimic by his side. He smiles at you. What, do you like my mimic? Come closer, don't fret. The little guy is very polite. You're a good boy, right, Bootsy? Man pokes down with the toe of his shoe, and in response, the insect clacks its mandibles together and nods its hairy, avoided head. Sure thing, tell me what's going on with the ant you have here. Man kneels before the mimic and starts rubbing its thorax. The mutant insect starts breathing loudly and sticking its tongue out like a happy dog. What's the story? We were both alone in this world, so we started traveling together, entertaining folks and throwing amazing birthday parties for kids. As well as earning a pretty penny, Bootsy will let almost anyone pet him for 5 rubles. I take the money and turn it into sugar cubes and beer. Why isn't your mimic attacking me? Your host scratches Dan's head and the thing starts vomiting green paste, all the while purring like a house cat from some other dimension where house cats are enormous, hideous, and terrifying. Who told you all mimics are evil? They're social animals. The High Queen teaches them to attack different species through a system of pheromonal communication. But Bootsy's anthill was sacked while he was just a translucent egg, thus he never received a command to kill. But where did you get the beast, man? Mimic rolls onto his back so his magic can pet his belly. When people from my home village raided a local anthill and started shooting all the ants and throwing molotovs every which way, I stole some eggs from the royal chamber and took them home. 3 weeks later, my 6-legged son was born, my little worker, my sweetie. Holy Bootsy, why? When hearing his name, the ant's antenna twitched and started probing the air anxiously. His master smiles. When I got my hands on some ant eggs, I didn't know the temperature needed to hatch. So I placed each of them in a different environment. I put Bootsy's egg in an old wool-trimmed boot, and he hatched. Unfortunately, his little brothers, Sandali, Furnacy, Toilety, and Frigidy weren't so lucky. God bless their little souls. And so enough for today. And something else. What's your name? Sure thing, I'm Evdokin Durov, a free entrepreneur, and this is my mimic, Bootsy. Very good-natured and adores children. Nobody ever passes up the chance to pet this charismatic fellow. Okay, we'll see. How long are you staying in the city? Me and Bootsy, we sort of got stuck here. Initially, we planned to travel the land, entertaining people everywhere we go. But life is just too damn calm around here, so we stayed. Hey, it's pretty calm, alright? What do you do for a living? What are you, some kind of a dummy? Here he is, my little Bootsy, the giant ant. He's my job. He earns me a living. Right, how silly of me. Have you heard anything interesting lately? Oh, Bootsy was a lucky fan, but then I heard about this dude who has a whole mutant zoo. He transports the creatures in giant balls which he loads into his truck. Whenever the guy feels threatened, the balls open and the mutated horrors maul everyone in sight. Okay. What can Merrick do? I just told you, petting him costs 5 rubles. Isn't that enough for you? Also planning to get the camera and sell pictures to hungry people for 10 rubles a slot. Maybe Bootsy could also offer some other services? I told you he does not. Is that really so? Man's pick up the giant ant and holds it protectively in his arms like a grotesquely deformed baby. Told you, there's no other services. What do you say? Okay. And the woman is taking a walk on the street. On her left arm, you notice a milk-colored scar. It's about 20 centimeters long and looks like she had it for several decades. What's you need from old Rita? I've already sold all my harvest to the people from the suburbs. What harvest are you talking about? Are you a farmer? The woman's face lights up. When I was little, my grandma and I got lost in the forest. Instead, I'm really good at finding my way through the wilderness. I know every bush, every mushroom, but most importantly, I know where to search for healing roots. And I sell what I find to the moonshiners and landlord people who can afford medicine. Ah, so that's what you meant. I see. Can I ask you a couple of questions? What rumors have you heard lately? Not big for rumors. There are telltales in the city like Yegoria, for example. She knows a lot about the Krasnosnameni and the surrounding wastes. Who did what and who went where? Okay. So what's the story behind this car? Woman frowns and shyly runs her fingers over a white strip on her skin. Though this car is unpleasant, I'd rather not repeat it. Don't be shy, my good woman. Get it off your chest. You feel better. Nope. How do you find life here in the city and around? A simple woman. I have no use for any extra comforts, a roof over my head, a blanket with no holes, and bread on the table, at least every other day. Although that is possible here in Krasnosnameni, I'm quite content. Are you alone here in the city, or do you have relatives that are helping you? I would never survive out here on my own. I live here with my husband, my dear Tadush. He doesn't work anymore, but every engineer is interested in his advice. Okay. Yeah. Each man needs to stand filled with fish, despite the salt and ice cube to protect the merchandise from the sun. The smell is terrible. Can I come and want some fish? Sure, why not? Show me the stuff. Some question, do you like it here? I like it so much, comrade. Such a big and lovely city with strong walls in it. I feel safe all the time. Sadly, there's little electricity nowadays because we don't get enough coal. When you catch a fish. A little bit further away down the river. Once I also used a large lake, but since people of Paragon started dumping garbage into it, I stopped. Buyers, do you have? Depends on the times, comrade. One of fish is enjoyed by many people, but in the Chamber of Commerce bunker, they enjoy the free-eyed grouper. They fill it with nuts and beaten leeks and fry it in the furnace before eating. They are my constant clients. I heard some good rumors. They say that the city historian is constantly drinking in the casino. He is sad because the Krasnosnameni museum lost many valuable artifacts from the past, including a heraldic shield of the city's founder, Count Raoevsky. Okay. Ladies, screen size. Okay, what you want? I don't talk. Strangers. YouTube. A woman with short grey hair slowly walks around the city. When she sees you, she crosses her arms to her chest and looks at you kindly with sincere interest in her gaze. Another traveler walks out the street. This one looks like he's searching for someone or something. Those shoes, those military grace in your step. You're the second person with a gaze that I have met in recent times, so when will the third one come over? Who was the first one, and what do you expect the third? I mean, he knows the things in our work come in threes. That is a gang with 3 leaders, or the local loan shark who has 3 people in debt. For that time, it turned out that 3 veterans of the last war lived somewhere in the city. That's not nearly all. Who was the first person that looked like me? Not that long ago, I was walking home from the Chamber of Commerce late at night when I saw a tough-looking military man with a submachine gun in his arm. He had such a queer mannerism, as if he was just back from a military drill, even though the military doesn't even exist anymore. You have those too. He said hello to me as he passed by and stopped near a fence and lit a ciggy. I ran to the corner, but instead of going home, I started watching that man. I don't really know why. Smoked for a while, and then he entered the Mushroom Cult building, or the Museum Society as they call themselves. Never seen him after that, but I remember him very well for some reason. Well, now that's a strange thing indeed. Well, let's change the subject. Care to answer some questions for me? Just like I expect, ask away, please. Who are you? What can you tell me about yourself? My name is Claudia, and I'm just a simple city dweller. I don't even have a job. Just walks the tape from time to time, and it's all I'm good for nowadays. Be pretty damn boring. Another question. For how long do you live out here? I live here for as long as this place exists, as I lived here even before that, when it was just a simple Soviet city. I lived here for so long. I'm about to start actual roots, you know. What did you do? Okay, heard any rumors? I'm not into rumors, and I'm a good friend Yigoria, but I talk to her about those. I'm more like my other friend Rita. She's a calm person who takes no interest in hearsay, just takes care of her home and her husband Hades. He's one lucky man, you know. Okay. A small old woman slowly walks across the streets of Krasnosnameni. She walks into you before noticing you and lifts her tear-filled eyes on your level. Didn't notice you at first, child. Forgive me. No problem. Can I ask you some questions? Sure, child. Go on. Do you like it here in Krasnosnameni? It's a good city, but when me and my late husband settled here, it was much, much worse. All the things that happened back then. Every night houses on the outskirts were ablaze. There were gunfights 24/7. But hey, we survived. Well, I did. What's new in town? I don't really know. Ask someone else about that stuff. Ever heard any juicy rumors? They say that there's a man in Fogelvilecchia who tells people he's a shaman. Can you imagine that, child? A shaman? Disgusting. When the Soviets were in charge, people didn't believe stuff like that. But nowadays, oh. What should I check out in the city? Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though. Don't go into the ship on the ports. Terrible things happen there. Sodomy, alcoholism, drug abuse. Don't even want to think about that place. Okay. Hmm. Okay, some questions. Can you tell me about yourself? I'm from Artemievka. It's a village down east. I was selling rare items between a few villages. When I got more money, when bands started to appear on the roads, I came here. The advice for an up-and-coming trader? Oh, sorry, but I don't want to be a good merchant if I just start sharing secrets on the earth to trade with someone. My only advice to new merchants: stop being merchants and let me work in peace. What things to do the merchants share? They're bad about all sort of stuff. There's even a rumor that our government pays banners to assault caravans from Paragon. That can't be good for anybody if it's real information. What was the strangest deal you ever made? It happened when I was still trading in my home village. One night a fellow ran into my store asking for some garlic, an axe, a silver butter knife, and the legs of my favorite chair, which he turned into steaks right after passing me the money. Business done, he sprinted to an old Boy Scout camp, and that was the last anyone saw of him. I think sheep pooch and selling insanity are the real culprits here. Okay. An old man with a cig in his teeth looks around while selling his wares on a table. If you notice, he nods without any particular interest. Wanna buy something? Show me your wares then, buddy. What do we have here? And that one weighs about 20. 7 kilos. Oh, no, 350. That's like a 1,000 for one of those. Ooh, a lockpick would be nice. Quality 1 to 16. Now can I have something else? Okay. Gray haired old man's running with material use of welding. He's sticking his tongue out, trying to fix the used microchip. He only stops working when he notices your arrival. Not really, can I ask something? Questions? No. What you got, buddy? Tom's momentary greets you with a clap of his hands and a gesture aimed at the various foodstuffs he sells, so showing you his wares. He stands near his stand and screams out energetically. Buyers! There, come in. Yeah, can I ask some question? Why not? What does he want? Can you tell me about yourself? I'm a trader from a trading dynasty. When my dad started on the Chinese border, my mom used to sell gongming, cosmetics of the Orient. When Dad was jailed for it, she started selling chess pieces he made in himself. Then people these were made by Solzhenitsyn. I'm a role model, spot for them. Can you tell me about the city? It's good. Clients always have money lining in the pockets. There are less thieves than usually in places like this. Militia has for only a little protection money. It's paradise. What do you think about other places around here? Paragon had too many folk in my profession. Other places are way too thin. No money in those tiny villages. No protection from gangs. Well, Otrone is kind of tolerable, but still, nobody buys anything back there. What do you think about other places? No. What rumors have you heard, comrade? I bet if you stand before a mirror and say "Atom" 3 times, a huge two-legged wolf will appear behind you and will cut your throat. Then it will grab all your stuff and carry it into its lair for safekeeping. Okay. What's he have? Wheat roll. Gives 1 dex for 150 minutes and plus 1 endurance for 12 hours. Expensive milk. What's a woman in apron invites you to come closer with a gesture? She has a strong, strict voice like that of a teacher. But she acts like a merchant through and through. What are you standing there for? Come on and buy before someone else buys everything. Hold up, can I ask some question? Okay. We're approaching him. The militia man is pensively, almost unblinkingly gazing into space, but your arrival fills him with fresh energy. His empty stare turns accusing. He asks you calmly but with obvious displeasure. Why you sneak up on me? Who does that, you know? I'm startled out of my deep force. I'm gonna just hit you from pure reflex. It will hurt. Jeez, what do you want? New to the city, is there anything I should avoid? The brothel, the drunks, breaking the law, and the mud mimics. Don't pester us too much these days, now that the water level in the river is back to normal. At times when the river ebbs low, they come in from the wastes to lay their eggs in the warm mud. Horrible little creatures. Looking for some interesting gossip? Maybe you heard something? Nothing strange is going on with the town drunk and local veteran navigator Vysotsky. Harry got completely shit-faced and tried to climb the tallest building in town, so he could jump off it. Yeah. Okay, we wait for the ship then. Corn here? A lonely old man around 50. He's a cig in his fingers. He smokes and shouts weak phrases and purchasing his wares. When he sees you, he slams at his car with his fist. Oh, a buyer. Listen, pal, why don't you buy some awesome apples? Hold up, can I ask some questions? Can you tell me about the city? Me and my car, we've seen lots of places, but this one is better than most. I'm not planning on leaving, but I'm not saying it's ideal here either. There are certain things. Where are you selling the stuff you're selling? It's a path of least resistance. Apples aren't French wine. They are easy to grow, easy to find, easy to sell, and easy to tell a spoiled one from a sweet one. So there's no risk of making an error and selling bad product. Where did you get such an awesome car? I bought it back before the war. It was so hard keeping it safe from after the bombs fell. It's scary to even remember. Now it's a bit calmer, but still, I keep the ignition key on a string, and the string is tied to my tooth. If anyone tries to hit me, I'll swallow the key, and they won't get my car. Maybe you heard some good rumors? I heard that there are plenty of people making various homebrewed drugs and share the recipes in books and magazines. I even saw one such recipe in a book my pal has. Nowadays, everyone is an apothecary. Okay, change the subject, show me your wares. Okay, so he sells apples and corn. Okay, good to know. Something we haven't read. I'm not gonna go through all 6 pages. Yeah, so we're supposed to find a book somewhere. Behind the old rickety tray stands a man, a solid build with shifty eyes and a fake green plaster on his lean face. The man is eating sunflower seeds and periodically yelling advertisement slogans. When he sees you, he waits for you to come closer. Don't miss your chance! For only half a hundred, you can buy the ticket of the official Krasnosnameni lottery. The winner of the car this time is a well-respected rotation worker, Borislav the Pumpkin. Who knows? Maybe this week it will be you. Well, they're easy. I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Well, why not? I'm listening. Is this lottery a profitable endeavor for you? Depends. The chances to win something are rather high. Sometimes they even get into debt. What can you do? It's a risky job, but somebody gotta do it. How's the city faring? We're doing just fine, great even. The local authorities do their best to help small businesses and honest working people. If it wasn't for all sorts of fanatics that occupy the city, life would be just peachy. Helping honest people, huh? Yeah, okay, I have another question. Have you heard some interesting rumors? I heard that some journalist is on the wrong end of a local crook here. Artemiev. Don't tell me this poor bastard, if he's still alive, that is. Yeah, if he's alive, can you tell him something else? One on the street is that there's a lake, smooth as glass, no ripple, no wave. But if you look into its waters, you can see your past and your future. And if you're willing to risk it and have a sip, you'll have a chance to start everything you knew. Don't really believe it, but there are rumors out there. Okay, tell me more about it. Man leans closer, wiping the shaft from his jacket. His face settles into a serious expression. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alexei Golubchenko, but my friends call me Lyosha. I'm the official representative of the only real lottery in all of the Wastes. You have a unique opportunity to get some significant cash prizes, and if you're really lucky, even a car. The Ziguli 2101, solid quality in all its glory. All you have to do is to guess the right order of numbers. What do you say? Can you tell me what the rules? Easy. Pick 5 numbers from 1 to 5. One correctly guessed number will give you 100 rubles. 2, 200. 3, 400. 4, 800. All 5, 1600. If you will guess a special combination of numbers, you will have a chance to win a car. Drawing a prize that happens every week on Sunday, so interesting. Nah. Maybe we should. Ronnie is a man in his 50s, even though he looks much older. His sunken eyes, thin, motionless legs, and near constant dry cough are all signs of a serious illness. But the tattoos of weapons, military equipment, and an abbreviation of pre-war division on his parchment-like skin tell a story of a past spent in the army. The sick man looks at you with a mix of surprise, fear, and disgust. Starts talking with a throaty falsetto. Everything will be fine in Krasanamini, Ambrose. You get a place to stay, a pension, Ambrose. Everyone will respect you, Ambrose. A high-pitched parody of a female voice is replaced by a thick, solid bass. Police woman. Yeah, I got my own place, but everybody and their uncle too keeps parading in it. Who are you? And what the hell are you doing here? Who, me? I'm just getting to know the locals. Can we talk? Oh my goodness. A while away here, crippled and forgotten, but some hoodlums just can't leave me alone. Come on, tell me what you want and go away. Okay, tell me about yourself. Military past, unclear future, that's original, right? Yeah, what do you do for a living? Do you think I do? Tallman lifts one of his legs with his hands and lets it go. The leg falls back down like a dead weight. You supposed to run marathons? Nope. Just Nosnameni is paying me a pauper's pension. Damn it to hell. Well, you get pension at least. What do you think about the Nosnameni? They have respect for the old and the crippled, but not too much, of course. Just enough to stop you from wanting to disassemble a mine and blow up the goddamn government bunker on one nice sunny morning. That's still something, I guess. Let me answer something else. Any rumors you would like to share? What's the use of sharing them? People have been talking for I can't remember how many months now. But that some shady people in Pentagon are doing God knows what under the disguise of a barbecue shop. But our local politicians still go their feet. Okay, there. Right in front of you is a tall, thin man in a police uniform. He moves slowly as he scans the street. When his gaze falls on you, a scorpious grin takes over his face, rubbing his hands in a disturbing way. He turns to you. Oh, hello there, comrade. What brings you here? Just taking a walk, perhaps? Or maybe you're looking to sell something to the good people of our city? Just taking a walk, checking out the local rumors. Do you have anything for me? You wouldn't believe what kind of things we hear on duty every day. Take, for example, the story of the agronomist's lustful maid. They say there was this agronomist out east who made a fortune disinfecting the cornfields. In fact, his life was so good he even hired a homeless she-mutant to be his maid. To clean dust, do the laundry, etc. But I didn't know that this woman, despite being covered with scales and green skin, was a real man-eater. And what do you know? A month ago she was his help. Now he's getting ready to make her his wife. He'll never do that, to be honest. That old fool is so happy inviting his neighbors to the wedding. But who? Fascinating story. One more question. How did he end up on the force, comrade? There were quite a few hungry years in my childhood. I was even forced to steal. Once I crawled through a window into the apartment of a well-heeled old man who was rumored to have bundles of rubles hidden under the floorboards. I searched the whole house and didn't find any treasure. Just 2 cans of beans, but when I crawled back out into the street, I was greeted by Afanasy Mikhailovich, one of our local police. The man didn't see me as some low-life punk. He looked at me as if I were his own son. And he said in a warm and kindly voice, 100 rubles and I never saw you. It was at that moment I realized I wanted to dedicate my life to law enforcement so I can continue what Afanasy Mikhailovich so bravely began. Oh, taking bribes? Okay. A huge garden in room entrance. As you come closer, it blocks your path. Stop right there. Artemiev is busy and won't accept visitors. Yeah, who are you? Just curious, can I come in? The guard changes his grip on the shotgun to a more comfortable one. The huge gun looks like a toy in his large hands. You don't have business, you can't come in. Fine. The solemn man with a mousy mustache looks up from under a red lamp. He seems to be disgruntled, or then again, this might be his permanent state. He heaves a deep sigh and says in a voice thick with tragedy, "Welcome to the City Hotel. Are you looking for a room?" First, I would like to ask you a couple of questions. I would answer, but I'm really not in the mood. Are you looking for a room? Check. Big young shaved man with smoking a cigarette between his teeth stands in front of you. He casts an indifferent look at you and clears his throat, covered in soot from a thick tobacco smoke. What is it? Nothing really, I saw for a chat. You're not as charming as you could be. The man gloomily puffs his cigarette and blows a close smoke right in your face. There's nothing for us to chat about, no hard feelings. Man who walks to and fro across the room is middle-aged, of average height, a bit plump, and seems to be engrossed in his own thoughts. He fiddles with a pencil stub and snores and mumbles something to his companion, who also sits in the room. As he sees you, he becomes very serious. I'm Vladislav Shirenko, editor-in-chief of the Shoot to Kill print house. Are you here to talk about my interview with the local veterans? Yes, I'm interested in the interview. Perfect, except there is no interview. I was looking for someone to contact the veterans for me. We have no idea what you're talking about, but I appreciate your bold approach and you decide to allow me you need. Are you a journalist too? A journalist? Well, why not? What's this thing about veterans? The man folds his arms on his belly. There are 3 heroes of the battle of the battle for the Berlin Wall currently living in the city. Yeah, that very battle that ended up in the nuclear surprise for all of us. On the one hand, is extremely lucky. On the other, they refuse to talk to me. One guy who I'm supposed has a bad case of PTSD, even through his urinal right in my head. Got it. What's next? I need to remember those events. We'll make up the rest. So these are the names: Sergei Maslov, who lives in the suburbs. Ambros Trofalev from a house near the hotel. Was his urinal that was nearly hit by, and the last is Visovsky the Navigator, who say he prefers lying around near the El Polo Loco bar. Oh, the Navigator. Find them all and make them tell you about the battle. Write it all down or memorize it, I don't know, and bring their stories to me. You get 50% of my wages. Deal. Deal. Well done, great. I will kiss you, but I'm not big on that. Alright, I'll be waiting here. Wait, there's no need to party just let's talk about something else. And talk some more. Oh. Hey, a middle-dressed woman in her 30s is walking through the city. There's a bag attached to her belt fully stacked with fresh, crunchy, and squeaky clean. Who knows you? The woman smiles kindly. I have no need for beetroot, however, I'll be happy to chat with you. Oh, really? What do you want to talk about? Let's introduce ourselves. What's your name? My name is Margarita. Nice to meet you, Margarita. One more question. Can you tell me about the city? My husband and I came to the city about 5 years ago when the mutants had replaced all the normal game in the lands near our home. He's a hunter, my husband. He says that there's plenty of game in this part of the oasis. And I have nothing to complain about here in the city. Why is the fresh gossip here in the city? I've heard 2 thugs discussing some particularly cruel representative of their profession who settled down, got a family, and lives literally under our nose in the Fogalepka. How are you planning to cook the beetroot? Oh, the beetroot can be used in a million different ways. Some of it will make green pancakes, some will go to the soup, and the rest I will pickle. Some will dry a few of them and make beetroot flour. It's true what they say, beetroot is our second bread. Personnel, could I also have some of this great vitamin-rich beetroot? Woman removes a small handbag from her belt and smiles at you. She hands you a dark purple root vegetable. Anything for a nice person like you. There you go. I have plenty of beetroot on me at all times. Oh, thank you so much. I go eat. Okay. Gray-haired man with knee beard is taking a slow walk, mumbling barely distinguishable words. As you approach him, You understand that what you're hearing are mathematical terms. In this case, the quadrature of the circle will be equal to... Oh, I haven't noticed you there, young man. How long have you been following me? Are you a student? Nah, I just feel like having a chat. May I ask you some questions? I'm afraid not. I'm a little busy right now. If his looks are anything to go by, you're about to meet a proper sea dog. The man is puffing thoughtfully at his wooden pipe and stroking his long grey beard. Behind you, he sets his arms akimbo and nods. Arg, plans a little cruise? Might, depends on the destination. Captain casts a loving look at a small boat anchored nearby and answers in a very serious note. Cruise from Krasosna Man to the Dead City will be full of danger, yet many adventurers find it appealing. That's interesting. What's your price? Yeah, let me make a few calculations here. Price of fuel to leave the bay, grab Amex latrine tax, that makes 7 grand in total. Maybe no shame you crafty sea dog dropped the price for a fellow seaman. Nope. These sources are your only source of income? Doesn't sound like a lucrative job. We usually deliver cargo or catch and chauvicy me nets, but then be a side gig. So even 7 grand cash in the barrel and let's go. That's a lot of money, buddy. And how often do you make such rounds? Well, you know, oftentimes no one's interested, and oftentimes to transport huge parties or stalkers there, it'll be all down to the chance. Rather ask you some questions. A tourist. Which part of the wasteland is better for living? The answer be surely subjective because tastes differ. I like being at Seymour. Out there, you could almost believe there would never be an apocalypse at all. How long have you been prowling the seas? Since time immemorial. Why immemorial? Because I don't remember how long, really. Simply I spent my entire life on deck. What can you say about Krasosna? Quiet bay, not pirates or storms. I can't stay here too long though. It gets too boring. Here to share some local gossip. Local rumors are a little interesting to me. No sea tales, that would be a different matter, but I'm afraid they bore you to death. Okay. But this guy wants, if he has something to say. A grey-bearded militiaman greets you with a serious and wary look. After clearing his throat, he looks you straight in the eyes and asks, "How can I help you, comrade? How are you doing here at the harbor? The locals getting on your nerves?" The militiaman has another brief coughing fit before answering you with a smirk. Keeping in mind there's a brothel right on a large boat, next to impossible to be aboard here. Sometimes I'm rescuing payment-dodging clients from the girls' raft, sometimes I'm shuttling drunks to the bushes so they can have a rest. Life is good, what else can I tell you? Is anything interesting happening around here? The man frowns. My post is next to the local casino and brothels, so the happenings around here are usually funny. A couple of years ago, a short distance away along the shore, fate brought me. It was gruesome. Body of a dead girl around 20 years old. She was dressed modestly, and it was clear she wasn't a prostitute. She had just been walking past the brothel when someone grabbed her, cut her throat from ear to ear. Grisly kind of smile. We couldn't crack the case no matter how hard we tried. The poor girl didn't have an ID, and no one could identify her. When I was filing the paperwork, I had to give her a nickname. I called her Black Horensia because of her beauty and the color of the dress. Who was the scumbag who destroyed such a beauty? Into local gossip, care to share? In the old days, there was a gang here called Alphabet. For security reasons, the gang members had a nickname consisting of one letter. I was assigned to investigate their attacks on the local caravans. Clues led me to abandoned colcots where they might be making their base. Suddenly I see A and B, the two biggest Alphabet bosses, sitting on the ruins of an old chimney. They were smoking, drinking, and laughing as if they had completely forgotten how they slaughtered 10 caravanners just the day before. I called for backup and started shooting. The bastards didn't even have time to get off the chimney. A caught one of my bullets with his forehead and fell, but B disappeared, vanished into thin air. But now I keep hearing murmurs of B's return. They say he's looking to get the old gang back together. Okay. Listen. Top man builds statue from bread in an unfriendly cell. As he notices he approaches bars warily and talks to you in a gloomy, mournful voice. You're not sure if you should answer him at all. You have to stare at me like I'm a beast in the zoo. How did we end up here, man? It's a sad story. Conspiracy to murder. This is the long and the short of it. How long are you going to remain here? As long as they say. Okay. Okay, so that doesn't work. It's just having it in onion, I guess. Oh. Nice. 762 rounds. Short-tempered middle-aged man in a relatively neat uniform bulges, his eyes drawn with bloody streaks at you. His nostrils flaring vehemently when he realizes you want to talk to him. I have long since lost count how many men I keep here to patrol the streets, but no, you're coming here in scores anyway. What is it? What would a respectable citizens charge the chief of police with instead of turning to one of his subordinates? The people by Mermaid. Mother-in-law took all your money. The TV set died. You perhaps have any work for me? Chief of police slaps himself on the forehead, annoyed. Yeah, the streets of Krasnozhnameni aren't rather enough. People don't understand where the law ends and the road begins. We need to hire someone who would be loafing around doing nothing, thus solving this terrible problem. Or, wait, are you indeed a mercenary? In summer, I need a head of Shika Simonia from the criminal gang Blades of War. Reason stealing people for ransom close to the place called Otteranoi. Yeah, accept the task. Great, not many people are willing to take care of people like this scumbag Shika Semyonov. I expect to hear from you in 4 days. I'll be like the other people in my life. Don't let me down. Okay. Okay, we're gonna have to go and okay, another military man. See your station. Who's asking? Let's see some ID, lawman. They're trying to distract me from my duty. I need to write that down. Two, the suspect refused to present the residence permit and tried to divert an officer of the law from his duties. By the way, this means you will have to pay a fine. And who am I to ask? Are you? I want no obligation to give you my name. Wait, I need to write this down. The suspect is disrespecting an officer of the law. Course of action incurs a further fine, so you're now owe 500 rubles. Come on, pal, calm your greed a bit. What? What the heck, man? I don't want to lose my money. What a douchebag. Work hard for my money. I don't have any race station. I don't live here. No race station. I refuse to pay you. I'm getting my nerves, you corrupt pig. Okay, we need to give him a wild birth. Okay, don't even get close to him. That's a true asshole of a cop. Man with a harsh and shaven face and unfriendly eyes greets you with a short nod. He notes that his left arm is covered in washed out, barely discernible tattoos. His other hand falls to rest near a long heavy hunting knife hanging on his belt. What's on your mind, man? Don't know the city that all that well. Can you answer a few questions for me? I haven't got time to answer your questions. Could you at least tell me about your tattoos? Did you get them in prison or just for decoration? Question painfully irritates man. He quickly conceals his tattooed arm with his back. Hey mate, my entire family been to prison. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Oh. A plump, red-shaded woman in her first looks at you with a mock reproach, her arms on her hips, head cocked to one side. Ahem, I'm sorry, what do you think you're doing inviting yourself into other people's homes like this? Looking for adventures? Oh, I was just passing by. Forgive me, please. won't listen to you with a light grin. I want the door is over there. I was hoping you were more secret admirer, and you're such a pussy. Well, let's get to know each other first. The woman weighs up your words and finally smiles. Okay, you caught me while I was getting bored out of my wits. Sure, let's talk. What's your name, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, I'm not really keen at giving my personal details out. My name is Borislava Ivanova. Yes, Boria. Or Slava. Yours? My name is Jane. Nice to meet you. My husband has the same name. Okay, who is your husband? That is confidential. Okay, come on. I'm your friend, you see. You'll be safe with me. No means no, man. Okay, what do you usually do? You know it already. Just busy with the household. Getting bored, really. How about the city? There have been many tourists coming recently. Woman doesn't look at you, but rather through you, as she says that. Probably scrutinized in the past, only she can see. Have you heard any interesting rumors? Nothing but the utter horrors. You probably like spooky stories, but I have to sleep alone most days of the week. They hear about worms that get under your skin, whispers, star, and creepy tunnels under the city. I barely stifle the desire to run to my neighbors for comfort, so don't even start. Okay. Oh, what's that? So now we know what she is. Lately, a militiaman standing at the pole, watching over the dirty streets of Kurososna with a serious gaze. Nothing noticing, he frowned sternly. What can you do for you, comrade? I have a question. What's the best place to get medical help in Kurososna? Right by my back, there's our hospital. The people working there are real saints who will fix you up in no time. If you need to buy medicine, you should go to the pharmacy close to the city gates. I'm actually interested in all sort of gossip and rumors. I heard that this fellow Maslow, the hero of the Battle of the Berlin, one who lives here in the city, is just pretending to be a war hero. But since I wasn't in the battle, I didn't serve with Maslow. Don't even read the papers. I can't confirm nor deny these claims. Okay. This guy just looks like he's just resting here. Well-built man sits snugly on the hospital bed in front of you, one leg on top of the other. He smokes a cigarette with a relaxed smile and shakes off the ash in the makeshift ashtray, an empty tin on his stomach. Greetings to the young builders of communists. What's your sickness? First-nose syndrome? Man suddenly falls silent and takes a closer look at you. When he speaks up, his voice sounds uncertain. You? Are you by any chance? Shit, are you by any chance from Atom? Counter question, and you? Man looks closely at you again and shakes his head. Me, I'm from Atom, and so are you. Now I'm certain of it. I remember you. I saw you at the base during training. He smiles and assumes a more comfortable position. Loshin Michael Fedorovs, a local agent. I deal with commercial activities in the wasteland. And you? To be honest, I don't remember your name. Okay, my name is Jim. Nice to meet you. Pleasure is mine, Comrade Goshin. Yes, I'm so glad to meet you too. You might wonder why. Not just because you're another Atom fighter. You see, I have a task for an agent. Mutually beneficial one. Beneficiary saved. It's interesting. Go on. Alright, so essentially there is, or rather there was a settlement called Red Fighter. Quite a decent place. One important man from KGB even had his country house there. People say he had a private bunker too, in case of war. Settlement has long since been abandoned. It's inhabited by nasty mutants, and local leaders never have the time to deal with them. Or rather, they can't reach it because it's on the territory controlled by the gangs. I don't care about the gangs. It's a fine place. The house are basically intact. We only need to get rid of the mutants. We'll have a wonderful base for Atom and a free trade zone in our hands. A proper use for such a place. Right, then will there be a house for me? Of course, it will be an Atom base. We'll give you the very best house. Okay, so I take it you want me to slaughter the mutants, I agree. Attaboy, you're a true Atom fighter. Always ready for dangerous adventure and reckless plots which will be beneficial to everyone in the long run. Right, let me mark the settlement on your map. You hand the map over to Gaussian, who confidently burns a neat hole in it with the tip of his cigarette. Here, good luck with your mission. Now, can I ask you some questions? Who are you? My name is Mikhail Fedorovich Gaussian. I'm a secret agent who works for Atom, and I'm a mutant. So what exactly does your mutation imply? Listen, on the outside I look just like any other person, but on the inside, if you only saw it, all my intestines are twisted and contorted. I have 3 appendices, one lung is bigger than the other, my heart is on the right and not to the left, I can go on forever. This is all because of Krasnov syndrome, or the D virus as scientists call it. Wait, isn't the syndrome just a scary story? This is a misconception many people share. Ever since I stopped being a normal person, I've been thinking about this D virus. What is it? No one knows for sure. Still, I know a thing or two thanks to my service. The most important thing is that the virus doesn't intend to kill anyone, although most of those who catch it do die. It strives to adapt to different life forms and create symbioses. As to how exactly it does that and why I was lucky to survive, I don't know. How's it going in the wastelands? To be honest, it's much better than mere 5 years ago, before it was like a war zone here. You know, there's just random shit from time to time, believe me. Compared to what it was like before, it's paradise. Heard any good rumors? People say the mushroom cult hates Devi Krishtu, cult leader herself, probably scared of the competition. Okay, let's save here. Let's see if you react on stuff here. Man before he looks tired of people, of work, or life itself. He quickly notices you, shakes his greasy hair, and he's surprised, starts talking to you first. Petro, I'm the local mortician. The man's voice is low and calm, but there's a tragic undertone you barely notice. Nice to meet you, I'm... Yeah? Yes, glad to meet you and all that, but what do you want from me? You're not even dead. Buy some medications, go to the retail, all the medicine is there. Look at your wares. What the heck did we find? And a bra somewhere. Ask a few questions. Oh, but I won't answer them. Okay. Like that. Bored woman at the counter gave it a quick look and quickly lowered her eyes at the paperback in front of her. Reading something interesting? Woman sighs and puts her tattered book aside. Why do you care? Do you have an appointment? Oh, well, yes, popped in. I'm afraid I can't help you. Wait, maybe you can answer a couple of questions. Has a quick glance at her book, smiles, and snaps her book shut. Why not? It doesn't happen too often that visitors want to have a chat. Tell me a bit about yourself. Well, I make some money working as a nurse. I was lucky to finish a first aid course during my year-long trouble with a medical caravan. Gained so much and got so many skills. Can you imagine me asking? Okay, what can you tell me about this place? Training is a good one. We always plan to work. I can't complain. Tell me about this city. There are places I never want to go back to. Places that look as if they never known civilization and human touch. With spiders and giant wasps are the only mutants. In comparison to them, our settlement is true paradise, so I'm not leaving it for love of money. Tell me some interesting rumors. I heard that weird mutants have appeared at the lakes in the south. They're slow and passive. Look like a crossbreed of a turtle and a middle-aged man with a huge four-nippled udder. Okay. Rumor has it can be milk and their milk is blue. Never drink something like that, does you more harm than good. But some consider this yucky thing to be a real delicacy. Okay. Man dressed as a doctor walks pensively across a small room. He holds a heap of papers in his hands. He constantly browses through them and mumbles under his breath. As he sees you, he nods wearily. Dr. Maximov, a specialist in radiation syndrome and addiction treatment. Do you have an appointment or have you just come around? Just come around. I would like to have a checkup, Doc. You don't have an appointment, you have to pay for your treatment. Radiation poisoning and alcoholism treatment is 400 rubles. Drug abuse treatment is 600, everything according to our price list. Okay. It's the subject. Chat. Okay. Let's put some medication. What you got? Oh wait, no. Give a second. I went down the wrong pipe. Woman standing at a table seems busy with some undoubtedly important papers. Having felt your arrival, she slowly, as if unwillingly, lifts her eyes from the papers and looks up at you. You're quick to notice the sign plate on her desk. It reads, Dr. Zinaida Petronova. Sorry, young man, I'm a little busy with my research. Can I help you? The doctor need your help. $100 to heal me up, huh? What is your research about? Senator Pedron looks at you in light face and finally nods dryly. No, alright, you seem like a smart young fella. I'm working on a new kind of antidote, however I need one last and very rare ingredient to start testing my medicine. And without this ingredient, I can't let this product hit the market. It would just be unethical. So let me guess, you need help procuring these ingredients? Yes, you understood correctly. However, first I have to go to ask you whether or not you're familiar with the art of disjointing insects and spider-like mutants. Yes, I've been told how to do it in exchange for a bottle of vodka. In that case, listen, I'm working on a new antidote. It's meant to be more effective and at the same time easier to make than pre-war ones. The only thing I'm missing is the spider's lymph node. But yes, a regular giant spider isn't going to cut it. It has to be a lymph node from an Arachnidus sovieticus, a monster more scary than any spider, that's for sure. Of course, it has to be some weird one, huh? Arachnidus lymph nodes contain great amounts of natural antidote. However, the mutant itself is very aggressive and I imagine he won't be willing to give up his lymph nodes without the fight. Good that I don't need a lot. 10 of them will do. Okay, where do I find these monsters? Arachnid can be found in the eastern region of the West if the bandit steps. Okay, that's a deal. I'm happy to hear that. Arachnidus vieticus and all its substances can be found in the eastern wasteland. It's impossible to mistake it for just a regular giant spider. Trust me on this. Right, so keep that in mind. There are some questions. Nope. Give her medication she has. Expensive ones. Okay. You know what? Do that. Okay. $100. Clean blonde woman around 25 gives a quick and sharp once over. You're 72 and you must have tons of questions. My name is Lera, by the way. Tell me how I can help you out. I'll just, my business tip. Set up a do some questions. That's what you like, Boogie. Glad to help you out. What can you say about Krasnosnameni? If I knew that peaceful places like this one was still on the map, I would run away to Krasnosnameni back when I was a little girl. Some local cures, the militia and the government, but I like it all. There's no shooting here, no public execution, no cannibalism. Born today, Eden. What do you do for a living? Where I'm from, new stuff is a rarity and everyone learns how to fix the jackets and boots, but here getting clothes isn't a huge problem. That's why people don't know how to repair the stuff as well as I do. Those are my expert sewing skills. Working with your hands, okay. Is it hard to find a home in the center? Nope, not really. I talked over in the Chamber of Commerce, got all the documents I needed, paid some money in advance, got a room in a house nearby. A room isn't a whole lot, but it's better than a stinky tent in the woods. I collect rumors, wanna share some? Go to say one militiaman chased an old witch out of the city, so she cursed him and became bald. If you ask me, there was no witchcraft involved. The poor old bat probably had some infectious disease the militiaman got as he manhandled her out of the gate. Okay. I mean, where you lived before. And the young woman lowers her gaze. I'm from the north, but destiny chased me out from my original home. How did you get to Krasnosnameni? Were you walking alone? Nice. I wasn't alone. My uncle was with me, but we decided to go to Krasnosnameni because the local gang became too wild to deal with. Poor man, he was gunned down by robbers just a few days away from the city. That's my story. When I got to the city, I sold my uncle's rifle, got some cash to pay the rent, and that's that. Okay. Let's see. What now? I can be so relaxed. Nothing interesting ever happened on duty. The militiaman's nostrils flavoring indignation. Nothing interesting, eh? Maybe it's because I can't sleep on my nights up because of all the things I see on the job. As soon as I close my eyes, I see all the victims stand right there in front of me, begging for my help. Well, what can I do? Nothing. I get it, but still, alright. Back to sleep, I'll be on my way. See a tiny dried out old lady with a sorrowful look on her face. Looks like... Oh, why you sneak up on me, darling? What do you want? I just want to ask you for some fresh gossip. Ah, what kind of gossip can there be? Someone fell ill? Our prices have gone up. We have other things to do. We old people have no time for gossip. We need to take care of ourselves and not you, the young folk. What do you have going on here? Old woman throws her wrinkly hands up in the air. Oh, young man, dark times are upon us. My neighbor Rudolph isn't feeling that great. He is laying in bed all day, every day, sleeping. I'm feeding him melted condensed milk and linden honey. He's swallowing as if he were awake, but his eyes won't open. Okay, it's just weird. What do you know about the city? What is it to tell? Nice cities are clean, the people are mostly nice. Not too many drunks, less than before anyway. All good people, they work a lot, have clean clothes and respect the law. Nice city, darling. Okay. Oh, yeah, hungry. Man in his 50s in a uniform cap waves his arms like a madman, shouting out weird propagandist phrases. As he sees you, he falls silent. Here you go, man. I have a fat lamb, barbecue, and an egg. What will you fry and what will you put aside for the badminton? Not barbecue. What's the price? Man smiles broad and grabs your arm. Oh, Saint Helena, you don't know what I'm talking about. You're not part of it. You're innocent. You have to help me. What kind of help do you need, man? Man heaves a sigh of relief and apparently he's been looking for someone to confide in. Oh, so I finally found a listener. So, did I tell you? I probably didn't. But until recently I worked as a postman in Krasnoznamenny. But it doesn't matter since I told you now anyway. Okay, so nod and listen. Man looks around weirdly and comes closer. Once before work, when I was opening other people's letters in my room, as usually, I found a letter. A very ordinary letter, it seemed. Simple talk of food, sport, and cinema, but the longer I read it, the clearer it became it was a coded message. And the words had totally different meaning. Look at this phrase, for example. What made your Kirill Arkadjevich so angry last week? Gone berserk today during the badminton game with a chicken barbecue, so we had to dispose of 3 portions. The man clearly has a talent. Pity he doesn't allow to record the games. Weird, isn't it? A very weird letter indeed. Odd indeed. Bear in mind that Kirill Arkadjevich is a rich merchant from a distant city of Trudograd. The letter came from Paragon, from a barbecue shop that belongs to Ivan Ilyev and Anton Uchvatkin. The shop is identical and very popular among the Paragon merchants and guards as well as our Chamber of Commerce. Now for a fact that some big fish from Krasnosen and I visit it regularly, even though we are not particularly good terms with Paragon. What is there about this barbecue if it makes people put political clashes aside? Huh. It's a barbecue that's no barbecue at all. Exactly. Couldn't put it better myself. There's another extra. Get a young lamb for barbecue. Perfect for a construction site, garden works, or for badminton. Weird, doesn't matter where to eat. This is what I'm telling you, but if barbecue is not a barbecue, but let's say a slave, a lamb is a man, and a badminton is God for some barbarity, a sacrifice, a murder, a secret experiment, it can be anything. Now there's the same phrase in my translation, got a young male slave. Good for construction works, working in the garden. And this thing they call badminton, what will you say now? But how did you come to this conclusion, men and slaves? There's no other reason to talk about anything this way, believe me. I scrutinized their correspondence. There was a line which sent me shaking through the night. Wednesday we got a chicken for barbecue and an egg for good measure. These two are hard to divide. Luckily we quickly found a gourmet from the halls for the barbecue, and 3 nights later the egg was ordered for a badminton evening in the bunker. If a lamb is a man, then a chicken must be a woman and an egg. The man's eyes are filled with unspeakable sorrow. Yes, I came to the same conclusion, so I started my investigation. Now later from the same Anton and Ivan from Paragon revealed that they buy empty videotapes in this video theater, so let's add this badminton creepy footage of an unknown nature. All in all, what goes on in the barbecue shop is the closest thing to hell you can imagine. Tell me, you're ready to explore this place. Proof of corruption in the establishment, many things will come to light. I'll pay a modest sum for this, from the remaining money earned from the sweat of my brow. I can give up anything for justice if you choose to do it. You can use this. The man gives you a crumb of leather sticking out of a torn envelope. Can't promise anything, but I'll see what I can do. Yes, I won't worry. Thanks. This is a letter as an example of the correspondence. I only dare to nick one. You know where Paragon is, doesn't matter, I mark it for you. Former postman snatches away your map and marks Paragon. And I will go on with my campaign, raising people awareness. Alright, see ya. Blackhead young man takes his last off the #1 issue of the 1985 Art of Cinema magazine with Mikhail Lyanov as Marshal Zhukov on the cover and smiles wildly. Welcome to the video parlor. Fans of watching a movie. Maybe later I have a couple of questions. Okay, let's talk. Where do you get the tapes? Once I found a videotape store, it was my initial equity, so to speak. Now I have created a whole system to provide me with new tapes. I know some stalkers and merchants who deal in rare antiques. And are there many visitors? Depends on what film or genre screens today. Sometimes there's Gosling, sometimes I'm the only person in the cinema. What in your collection is in highest demand? Action movies, comedies, quite predictably. Well, you'll be surprised, but morning aerobics for women is very popular too. Beats me, there's no plot even. What in your collection is in highest demand? Okay, have you heard anything interesting recently? I heard that some guys in the South made a real movie. I would like to see it. I have to explain to people every day it hasn't reached us yet. What's on today? An intellectual or most likely believe yourself to be one. You're in the luck, for today's the day of sophisticated art house cinema. The screen the award-winning feature Communist Body, Capitalist Body. Tickets only 30 rubles. Yeah, maybe next time. Yeah. Hey. One more building over there. Very managed entrance of a huge building is most friendly. It's easy. He wears a quality leather vest and smells surprisingly good compared to the other wastelands you met so far. Hello friend, how are you? Not bad, and you? Can't complain. You're interested in the Museum Society or just passing by? Tell me more about this society of yours. Don't think I can tell you more than other members of society to avoid going into too much detail. What would you like to know? Would you like to hear about the four principles of our ideology is based upon, or maybe you're interested in our history? Well, tell me what the four principles. Of course, the principle of unity, principle of modesty, principle of love, and principle of life. Which, okay, the unity one. All of us people, regardless of our differences, must feel like we are part of a single organism, the humankind. Just like different body parts don't fight between themselves, the same way we must discard our lowly disagreements that have almost destroyed us and move as one towards development. Okay, the modesty then. When you find yourself on top, don't be proud or ashamed. On the contrary, help the people around you to reach your level. Help the weak become strong and don't exploit their weakness. Only moving as one like that can be the achieved development. Okay, the love part. Help the people around you not out of vanity or pride. Help others as you would help yourself. Love the humankind and through that love yourself. Only moving as one like that can be achieved the development. And about the life then. Let your death not frighten you, as death is of one is not a threat to the whole. Instead, be afraid of the deaths of other people, as that's what kills the whole. Okay, tell me about the history. A long time ago, right after the war, a scientific group from far, far away established a mausoleum in this very building. God points to the building behind his back. Many years have passed since then. The old ones have gone, replaced by the new ones. Our sacred army fights for progress and science. United we strive toward development. So what does the organization do here in brief? We do charity and scientific research. Everyone has a certain function, but we're all equal. How can I join your ranks? We welcome everyone, but the Mausoleum is not only a research but also a charity organization. This means above all we are interested in people who are eager to employ the skills to help others. I myself, for example, before joining the society, I'm ashamed to say, but I was a gangster. And now that I have seen the light, I use my mastery of arms only to protect ordinary people. Anyone who wants to join us must talk to one of the society representatives in the city and get a reference. Yeah. Yeah. You see a strange man in silver unitard. As he spots you, he jumps up, hits himself in the chest, and gives you a futuristic salute. Okay. There's some weirdos in this one, man. It's Zang Zang beer form. My destination is Xander P603 for free. Well, people in your time like to say, "Howdy, comrade communist. My name is Alexander." Nice to meet you, Xander P603. They call me Jim. The man smiles and jumps into the air of joy. It means my calculations were correct. Unimportant historical figure Jim. This temporal projection asks you for help in a moment of need. The recent future where I am from is in danger, and only you can help history to go on a more noble path. Please, I beg of you to listen to my words. We scientists used all the energy of our experimental time machine to send me here. You won't have a second chance. Fine. Tell me what I need to do to save the future. I'm all ears. Xander P603 opens his hands and draws an invisible circle with his fingers. Just probably expresses joy since he looks pretty happy after completing it. In the name of Holy Bolt Boy, the first robotic saint, I'm so glad you decided to hear me out. No person from the past know this. In less than half a century from now, a small part of humanity will rise from the atomic ashes and create a technology-advanced utopia. That won't mean a happy ending for everyone, though. Some people will struggle in the wild eastern oasis. We also share a border with a country whose people became a single hive mind organism. There's this terrible menace I would rather not talk about today. And also, and the sod. Our technologically advanced utopia was promptly conquered by a dictator. The name of this all-powerful God King is Ilya Kuznetsov, the ruler of Haven, Earth, and 9 Hells. He and his goons made us use serial numbers instead of last names as if we were cattle. He also changed our first names into silly made-up abominations such as Xander or Beetrotron. He made the population walk on their knees begging for food. Also, to fight our urge and resist, he created a law obligatory medicinal crime-preventive beatings. Every day and every night, a social worker has to slap every citizen of our country in the face at least once. And some of them are married, so they have rings on their fingers to slap you even harder. Lots of rings since we are a polyamorous society. What a nightmare. How can I help you, noble people of the future? Learning the biography of the demonic tyrant Ilya Kuznetsov is obligatory for all, so everyone knows the exact date and place his parents decided to have a child. It happened this year in a circus filled with mutants. Please, people of the future, beg you, find the monster's parents and make them hate the idea of having kids. Strange man takes out the map of the oasis of his spine and points to a certain location. Promise nothing, need to think about it. Bye. Okay. Pink shake body man is 40 years with a wild smile. I'm not friendly your loss, there's nothing interesting around here, just me the entrance to the government bunker. I see that, you must be bored, fancy chat. Why not? It's so boring. Who are you? Got a governmental bunker, why else would I be standing here, friend? And? How about your work? Someone has risen up against the establishment for quite a while now. Guys from the bunker haven't given their logs a reason to disembowel them lately either, so there's nothing interesting going on really. Still, duty is duty and double overtime is double overtime. Yeah, stability is a bitch. And, tell me about the city. It's a good place to live, big and peaceful. From time to time some cryptocurrency trader or plain lunatic starts causing trouble, but otherwise it's great, even a bit dull. Any good rumors lately? Only from my wife. She hates gossip, but always seems to be repeating it to me anyway. She wants me to tell her whether this stuff is true. How the heck am I supposed to know that? Mustache City official bends over several documents to come closer. He slowly backs away and lifts his gaze while putting his goose feather he used for wadding aside. Okay. Pour myself some more coffee. Okay. So yes, can I help you? What are you doing here? I mean, you personally. You control the bureaucratic process here in Chrysostomany and surrounding areas. Personally, I work with currency control. What does that even mean? Well, known regions in the West still use pre-war rubles, but its actual price is different in every other region. The fact that we don't have a golden standard doesn't help, and we have to learn of the money cost in different lands, so that our traders won't get scammed during some deal with representatives of another country or region. Is that a problematic position? Not really, but sometimes new scams appear that threaten all of the waste. The last big attempt at destroying the economy happened way back in the 90s, when some people tried to start using pine cones, rocks, bottle caps, and other kinds of garbage instead of currency. I'd like to become a citizen. No, that's not but the part. And try talking to another colleague of mine. Sure, they will find help with this matter quickly. Any questions? No. An untidy woman with an annoyed tired eyes suddenly does off and nearly bumps into you, bear the holding a heavy pile of forms. When she overcomes a shock, she starts nervously and incomprehensibly. Buy yourself glasses! I don't need weirdos growing up in front of me like mushrooms after rain. Wait, are you by any chance a lawyer from True Regard invited? I invited you here last week? Looking for Katerina Mavrova because it's me. But wait, no, couldn't come so fast. What do you want? Jesus. I'm tired of fishing myself, so fancy shot. I don't know. Hmm. Do, 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 do. Hmm. Ah, crap. Didn't see the person sitting there. No stealing. I don't know, like a woman around fair sits at her desk. This one said, "Can you answer some questions for me?" Or no more questions. Does it make me a citizen? You come to Pester, 4th level B rank official with such a question. How would I help you with becoming a citizen? It's not my job. Where should I go then? You need to find a department or department location. There you must learn the location of my colleague who will tell you the name, level, and rank of an official who accepts questions about finding an official who have the power to grant you citizenship. As an obligatory 5 workday wait, you will be transferred to the person with this knowledge. You will start by walking there. You put me there again, I wasn't looking. Yeah. Okay, there doesn't seem to be a. What's the. Hmm. Hmm. So hmm. Where the heck is this guy then? Hmm. Talking to everybody, so it's not here then. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. So, we need to. Because when I looked up the waste paper, it's supposed to be a quest. Hmm.